disoriented man wakes in a desert, learns 554 from a dying stranger, becomes number 6 in a controlling village. He seeks escape, meets a mysterious woman, and discovers the village's secrets. In New York, Michael meets a girl and ends up in the village, facing number 2's power. The girl validates number 6's sanity with a dream drawing, hinting at escape plans. In the village, number 2 medicates his wife, and his son questions number 6's beliefs. Number 6 finds a grave for 93, contemplates alternate worlds with a doctor's help, and recalls Lucy. An explosion interrupts his meeting with 554, who conveys 93's advice. Seeking answers, number 6 vows to confront number 2. Approaching the towers, a white sphere triggers childhood memories. A man claiming to be his brother adds to the confusion. Despite shared scars and photos, number 6 remains skeptical. Number 2 persuades him to consult a psychiatrist. They arrive at his brother's home, where a warm welcome awaits. Number 6 confides in his brother about the village's artificial nature. In a session, he recalls Lucy, discovering 2 doctors. Outside, his brother reveals a plan to restore his memory, leading him to a garage where co-workers greet him as a bus driver. He takes the wheel, touring the village. Number 6 explores with his brother, contending with puzzling memories. The village's leader confesses his role in his wife's condition, fearing his son's discovery of his true paternity. During a village tour, number 6 finds an anchor, alluding to a hidden sea. Michael recalls Lucy's connection to a company and potential stalking. Number 6 accuses the doctor of espionage and finds a childhood note, but remains skeptical. Number 2's son seeks answers about his forgotten childhood. Number 6 has a disturbing dream and guides 313 to a ruin, but doubts persist. Number 6 encounters a woman from the tour bus who hears ocean sounds in the desert but can't locate them. He rushes to the village, opting for the work bus, haunted by visions of his brother lost at sea. An explosion follows, and he apologizes to his brother, who confesses to deception. They seek the ocean, where he vanishes. Returning to the village, number 6 screams in despair, taken away by clinic workers. Number 2 insists he adopts the number 6. He encounters a man leading him to a crucial conversation with number 2. Meanwhile, 313 awakened to reality. Lucy tries to leave Michael's apartment, triggering a confrontation. Number 2 introduces number 6 to village spy 909. They agree to collaborate, revealing secrets among cell agents and surveillance. Number 6 infiltrates the school, probing about number 1. Budge complies with village life. Number 6 believes fear rules everyone. Later, number 6 and 909 monitor a suspicious history teacher who dines alone and leads runners, potential dreamers. During a conversation, number 6 spots 313 among the runners. The next day, he assigns students to investigate colleagues. That evening, number 2 medicates his wife, causing nighttime awakenings. Number 6 and 909 surveil the teacher from his roof. 909 asks for coffee, where number 6 discovers a surveillance log, revealing he's the real 909's target, with 313 also under suspicion. The teacher realizes he's being watched, leading to dramatic events. As the couple talks about their son, number 2 gives his wife a sip of wine, and she falls back into a stupor. The man notices a surveillance camera installed in his garden. At the same time, the teacher realizes that he is also under surveillance and slits his own throat. Number 6 insists that the man must be taken to the hospital the next day. While a cab driver plays with his daughter in the yard, a sudden hole appears. Simultaneously, number 6 investigates the doctor's roof, finding a camera, unaware he's being recorded. Number 2 contacts 909, suspecting number 6's influence on his son. 909 denies it, but number 2 remains suspicious. Number 6 follows 909 to a bar with the mayor's son, revealing their romantic involvement. Reflecting on Lucy's confession about reading reports, number 6 visits the hospitalized teacher for help with other dreamers, but gets denied. Sensing he's being trailed, number 6 is spied on by his student. Number 2 assigns number 6 to spy on 909, who wants to warn the doctor but reveals herself as an agent. Number 2's son waits for 909, leading to a confrontation. Number 2's son approaches 909 with a knife, and she doesn't resist, resulting in her demise. Number 6 rushes to 313's house but finds her driven away in a van. He seeks 909's help, but finds him dying. In New York, Lucy presses Michael about the village. Number 6 encounters number 2's son in a bar, and he directs him to the tunnels inhabited by unmasked dreamers, posing as 909. In the tunnels, he finds his apprentice, and the white ball reappears. Number 6 wakes in his apartment. Number 2 informs his son of 909's death and instructs him to find a pier. Whispers lead to Sumakor. In the palace garden, number 2 exposes the student's surveillance and leads her to therapy. Number 6 hears a woman's TV announcement about finding a romantic partner, learning it's the village's way. A ground hole forms in number 2's yard due to climate change. Number 6 is paired with 415 by the Modern Love Bureau, resembling Lucy. He tries to convince her of their past life connection, but faces challenges. Number 2 discovers his son's theft of pill samples, seeking 313's help to determine their content. Number 6 warns his son about the irreversible truth of the holes and his mother's fate. He and 313 visit the cab driver's family, who discover a backyard hole. Village mandates owning a pick for weather anomalies. Number 6 questions number 2 about the girl's disappearance, but he leads him to a pit, suggesting marriage or diving in. The doctor injects number 6 and 415 with a love-inducing drug. Number 6 persuades 415's father to marry. 313 reveals pill ingredients to number 2's son, including a sedative, hallucinogen, and an unknown substance. Number 2 seeks advice on reversing love from 313, but faces opposition. 313 confesses her feelings to number 6 before clinic personnel take him away. Number 6 rejects artificial love claims, determined to marry 415. In New York, Lucy and Michael wake up together. Number 6 proposes to both Lucy and 415. At their wedding, the doctor warns number 6 about his feelings for 415. When 313 kiss number 6, 415 flee just before the white ball attacks. 415 are knocked away from the ball. Number 6 tells Lucy about their meeting in New York, and she agrees to come to the village. Number 2 brings her, breaking number 6's heart. Number 6 encounters 147, who wants to jump into another pit to find his daughter. In New York, Michael's apartment explodes. Number 2's wife awakens there. Michael heads to Sumakor, and in the village, number 6 vows to avenge 415's death. Number 2 meets his son in a bar, confessing the village's location and offering a day with his mother. 313 wakes up to find number 6 by her bedside, recalling their kiss. She asks him to stop, and he leaves. Number 6 visits the clinic, grieving 415's death and seeking answers about the hole. Confusion arises when 313 questions his absence from her house. Returning home, his apartment is in ruins, with a receipt saying, "See you later." In New York, Michael gets a new pass and realizes he bought a knife. He encounters his doppelganger and threatens to kill number 2. Number 2 warns about the double, but starts acting strangely. Number 2's son receives a warning and alerts his mother. Number 2 seeks refuge with a cab driver, where Michael recognizes shared memories. Number 2 escapes as agents search for the double. Holes form in their yard, and number 2 proposes to fulfill 313's desire to see the other place. Number 2's son reveals holes appear when his mother's awake, and village-born people can't live elsewhere. He runs to the desert. 313 realizes number 6 is a double and flees. Number 6 confides in number 2's son, and they intervene to stop the double. Number 2's son finds the key to put his mother to sleep. Number 2 returns home, claiming his double is captured. 313 discovers Sumakor's door. Michael and the master visit the task floor, and new residents arrive in the village. Michael is summoned to meet Mr. Curtis at Sumakor, and number 6 shares concerns about the village's expansion with 313. Number 2 reveals his desire for number 6 to accept the village peacefully or not at all. 313 struggles with visions from another life, which number 2 warns her not to let control her. Number 6 seeks help from number 2's son to escape the village. He also interacts with number 2 at the cemetery and warns the boy about his mother's influence. Meanwhile, in New York, Michael meets Mr. Curtis and learns about the village's nature as a psychological experiment within a woman's mind. Number 2's son refuses to escape with number 6, focusing on his case in New York. As events unfold, number 2's wife dies, and his son commits suicide. More holes appear in the village, and number 6 discovers the village prophet's beliefs about deliverance. Number 6 is determined to find a way out, despite the challenges and uncertainties in the village. Michael visits Mr. Curtis, who turns out to be in a prototype of the village and whose wife is in a dreamlike state. Mr. Curtis explains that the village is an experiment taking place in the woman's mind, and that she sacrificed herself so that broken people could have a better life, even if it was only in her head. Meanwhile, number 2's son enters his parents' bedroom and strangles his mother to death. Mr. Curtis confirms that it was Michael who found everyone in the village. At the clinic, number 2's son is dying, Number 6 tells him about his upcoming funeral. Later, Number 2 returns home to find his wife dead and his son missing. He and his assistant search the bar and discover that his son has hanged himself. Number 2 takes his body out and places it in a glass coffin. Number 2 realizes that Number 6's vulnerability is his humanity and suggests that 313 save him by offering herself to Number 6. He urges Number 6 to confess his need for the village, but when confronted by the white ball, Number 6 flees, unable to confront his fear. Number 6 awakens as his fever miraculously disappears during Number 2's son's funeral, where Number 2 confesses to their captivity in the village. In New York, Mr. Curtis introduces Michael to Sarah, 313's prototype, who suffered childhood abuse. Number 2 acknowledges his inability to save the village, and the crowd starts to see Number 6 as Number 1, while Mr. Curtis seeks Michael's help to cure Sarah. The chant for Number 6 as Number 1 resonates, culminating in a powerful revelation and moment of reckoning. In a climactic moment, Number 2 reveals Number 6 must become Number 1 to save everyone, but 313 steps up to sacrifice herself instead. Michael takes charge at Samakor, while Number 6 and 313 appreciate the beauty of the world and commit to a better village. The film's complex blend of reality and hallucination leads to a satisfying, surprising ending that unravels the plot's mysteries.